She was given to a mafia boss as punishment. Neither of them expected what followed. I should have known the moment my father stopped looking at me. That's when you know you're already sold. We were standing in his study, the one with the antique desk and the painting of Saint Sebastian, arrows piercing his flesh like promises. Rain hammered against the windows. Thunder rolled through the Roman hills like a warning I was too stupid to hear. Ilara, my father's voice, flat, emotionless. Thorne Ravello didn't do emotion, he did calculation. Yes? I kept my chin up. Always keep your chin up in this world, or they'll slit your throat before you see the blade coming. He turned. His eyes were empty. You're leaving tonight. 3 words. That's all it took to end my life as I knew it. Leaving? Where? To settle a debt. My blood turned to ice water. In our world, debts weren't settled with money. They were settled with blood, territory, or... No, the word ripped from my throat. You can't. It's already done. I stared at this man who'd raised me on bedtime stories about honor and loyalty, who'd taught me to shoot a gun before I learned to drive, who'd promised me I'd never be a pawn in his games. Liar. Who? My voice cracked. I hated myself for it. Dario Vasari. The name hit me like a bullet. Everyone knew that name. The Vasari syndicate controlled everything from Sicily to Milan, drugs, weapons, politicians, judges. They were untouchable. And Dario Vasari was the most dangerous of them all. The man who never smiled. The man who left no witnesses. The man who, rumor said, had killed his own uncle with his bare hands for betraying the family. What did you do? I whispered. What I had to do to survive. Thorne walked to the window, hands clasped behind his back. A shipment went wrong. His shipment, under my watch. So you're giving him your daughter. I'm giving him an asset. He didn't even flinch. You're smart, Ilara. Educated. Beautiful. You'll serve him well. Serve him. Like I was a bottle of wine. Rage exploded in my chest, hot and vicious. You bastard! The slap came faster than the lightning outside. My head snapped sideways. Pain bloomed across my cheek. You'll go with dignity, he said quietly. Or you'll go in chains. Your choice. I touched my face. Tasted blood. This was it. The moment I'd always feared. In mafia families, daughters are currency. We're traded, married off, used to seal alliances or pay debts. I'd just never thought my father would be the one to spend me. Stupid girl. When? My voice was steady now, cold. Now. The car arrived 30 minutes later. Black, sleek, expensive. The kind of car that doesn't stop at red lights because red lights don't apply to men like Dario Vasari. I wore the dress my father had laid out on my bed. Crimson silk that clung to every curve, every breath. A gift from Vasari, apparently. He'd sent it ahead. He'd planned this. The driver opened the door. Didn't speak. Didn't need to. I stepped into the rain, let it soak my hair, my skin. Let it wash away the last trace of the girl I'd been an hour ago. My father watched from the doorway. I didn't look back. The car smelled like leather and danger. Tinted windows, privacy partition, no escape. We drove through Rome's ancient streets, past the Colosseum where men once died for entertainment, past the Tiber where bodies had floated for millennia. History repeating itself over and over. My phone buzzed. A text from Serafina, my best friend. Where are you? I turned it off. The villa appeared like something from a nightmare, perched on Aventine Hill, surrounded by walls and gates and men with guns, marble columns, manicured gardens, beauty wrapped around brutality. The car stopped, the door opened, and there he was, Dario Vasari, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a black suit that probably cost more than my entire wardrobe. His hair was dark, pushed back from a face that looked like it had been carved from granite and rage. A scar traced his jawline, thin, precise, like someone had tried to slice his throat and failed, but it was his eyes that stopped my heart. Black, endless, empty. He looked at me the way a wolf looks at a deer, not with hunger, but with certainty. Elara Centauri. His voice was low, rough, like gravel dragged across silk. Dario Vasari. I stepped out of the car, heels clicking on stone, head high. If I was going to be a prisoner, I'd be a queen in chains. His lips curved, not a smile, something darker. Your father said you'd have spirit. He circled me slowly, assessing. Good, I have no use for broken things. I'm not a thing. No? He stopped in front of me, so close I could smell his cologne, cedar and smoke and something sharper. Your payment. There's a difference. And if I refuse to pay? He leaned down, his breath hot against my ear. Then you'll learn what happens to debts left unsettled in my world. Thunder cracked. Lightning illuminated his face, all sharp angles and shadows. Welcome home, Elara. Home. The word was a knife between my ribs. He turned and walked toward the villa, paused at the entrance. Are you coming, or do my men need to carry you? I had two choices, walk into hell on my own feet or be dragged. I chose to walk. Because here's what my father never understood, what Dario Vasari didn't know yet. I wasn't just my father's daughter. I was a Centauri. And Centaurus don't break. We burn. If you're already hooked by the darkness, a quick subscribe keeps these stories coming. Trust me, you'll want to see where this goes. The villa was a cathedral of sin. Every room whispered secrets. Every corner hid ghosts. Dario led me through corridors lined with paintings, Renaissance masters mixed with modern brutality, blood-red canvases and golden frames. Marble floors reflected our footsteps like a countdown. Your room. He stopped at a door, pushed it open. I stepped inside and forgot how to breathe. It was beautiful. Enormous four-poster bed draped in silk, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Rome's glittering skyline. A bathroom bigger than my entire apartment, all black marble and gold fixtures. A cage made of luxury. I'm not sharing your bed. The words came out sharper than intended. He laughed, actually laughed. The sound was cold, joyless. I don't fuck women who don't want me, Elara. When you're in my bed, it'll be because you begged for it. Heat flooded my face. Anger or something else. I couldn't tell. That'll never happen. We'll see. He stepped closer, traced one finger along my collarbone. Featherlight. You're here for one reason, to prove your father's loyalty through your obedience. You'll attend events with me. Stand by my side. Smile when required. A trophy. A symbol. His hand dropped. Thorn betrayed my trust. Now his most precious possession belongs to me. It sends a message. That you're a monster. That I keep what's mine. The words hung between us, heavy with implication. Dinner is at 8, he said. Don't be late. Then he was gone, door closing with a soft click. I was alone. Finally. I collapsed on the bed, mind racing. Think, Elara, think. I couldn't escape. Not yet. The villa was a fortress. Armed guards everywhere. Gates, walls, surveillance. Even if I ran, where would I go? My father had made it clear. I was on my own. But I wasn't helpless. I'd grown up in this world, watched my father navigate alliances and betrayals, learned to read people, to spot weakness, to survive. If Dario Vasari thought I'd be a docile little puppet, he was in for a surprise. I opened the closet. Dozens of dresses, all designer, all in my size. He'd prepared for me, studied me. The thought sent chills down my spine. I chose black, a floor-length gown with a slit up the thigh. Armor disguised as elegance. Dinner was served in a dining room that could seat 30. Only 2 places were set. Dario sat at the head of the table, reading something on his phone. He didn't look up when I entered. I sat, waited. A woman appeared, older, gray-haired, kind eyes. She served the first course, pasta in a cream sauce that smelled like heaven. This is Lucia, Dario said, still not looking at me. She runs the household. Anything you need, ask her. Lucia smiled, genuine warmth in a house full of ice. Welcome, Signorina. Thank you. She left us alone. I picked up my fork, took a bite. The food was exquisite, rich, perfectly seasoned, melting on my tongue. You haven't asked why, Dario said suddenly. Why what? Why I accepted your father's offer. Finally, he looked at me. Most men would have killed him for what he did. A shipment worth 50 million euros, intercepted because of his incompetence. So why didn't you? He set down his phone, leaned back. Because I did my research. Thorne's operation is sloppy, but his daughter... Those black eyes studied me. His daughter graduated top of her class in economics, speaks 4 languages, has a photographic memory. My blood ran cold. You thought I wanted a warm body in my bed? He smiled, sharp as broken glass. I have plenty of those. What I need is someone who can manage my legitimate businesses without asking too many questions. You want me to work for you. I want you to be useful. Otherwise, you're just expensive decoration. Pride warred with survival instinct. He was offering me power, limited, conditional, but still power. And if I refuse, then you'll spend your days in this villa, doing nothing, being nothing, a prisoner in paradise. He took a sip of wine. Your choice. It wasn't a choice. It was an illusion of one, but I'd take it. What kind of businesses? His smile widened. Smart girl. After dinner, he led me to his office, all dark wood and leather, walls lined with books I suspected he'd actually read. He handed me a folder. 3 restaurants, 2 hotels, a vineyard in Tuscany, all legitimate fronts for less legitimate operations. I flipped through. Financial statements, tax documents, employee records. The restaurants are bleeding money, I said. Your managers are skimming off the top. I know. Then why? I wanted to see if you'd notice. He leaned against his desk, arms crossed. You just proved your value. I closed the folder, met his gaze. I'm not doing this to help you build an empire. No, you're doing it to survive. He tilted his head. But here's what you'll learn, Alara. Survival in my world requires more than intelligence. It requires ruthlessness. I can be ruthless. Can you? He pushed off the desk, moved toward me. Could you order a man's death because he stole from you? Could you watch him beg, then pull the trigger yourself? I swallowed hard. If I had to. You will have to. His hand cupped my jaw, thumb brushing my lower lip. Eventually. My heart pounded. His touch was fire and ice. Remember this moment, he whispered. The moment before everything changes. Because once you cross certain lines, Alara, there's no going back. He released me, stepped away. Get some rest. Tomorrow we visit the restaurant. You'll meet the manager who's stealing from me. His smile was arctic. And you'll decide his punishment. What? Welcome to the family business. I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling. Tomorrow I'd have to choose. Stay silent and remain powerless, or condemn a man and become complicit. Either way, I'd lose a piece of myself. But maybe that was the point. Maybe Dario Vasari wasn't just punishing my father. Maybe he was seeing if I was strong enough to survive his world. And God help me, I wanted to prove him right. The restaurant was called Stella Notte, Night Star. Ironic, considering what happened there. We arrived at noon, sunlight streaming through windows that overlooked the Trevi Fountain. Tourists snapped photos outside, oblivious to the fact that they were eating 20 feet from a Mafia interrogation. Dario wore casual elegance, black slacks, white shirt rolled to his elbows, exposing forearms corded with muscle and ink. A saint on one arm, a demon on the other. Balance. Or maybe just honesty about what he was. Stay close, he murmured as we entered through the back. Watch. Learn. The kitchen was empty. He'd cleared it out. Only one man remained, tied to a chair in the dry storage room. Marco Bianchi, the manager, mid-40s, sweating through his shirt, eyes wide with terror. Two of Dario's men flanked him, Nicoletto Drago, the enforcer from the background story, all coiled violence and dead eyes, and another I didn't recognize. Marco, Dario's voice was pleasant, conversational. Do you know why you're here? Signor Vasari, I can explain. I'm sure you can. Dario pulled up a chair, sat backward on it, relaxed. But first, let me introduce someone. This is Ilara. She'll be overseeing my legitimate operations from now on. Marco's eyes darted to me, confused, desperate. She reviewed your books, Dario continued, found some discrepancies. It wasn't me. 73,000 euros over 6 months. I stepped forward, arms crossed. My voice was steady, cold. You created fake vendor accounts, paid yourself through shell companies. Very creative. Marco's face crumbled. My daughter, she needed surgery. I was desperate. So you stole from me, Dario finished, and you thought I wouldn't notice. Please, Ilara, Dario turned to me. What's the appropriate response to theft in our world? My mouth went dry. This was the test. I could feel everyone watching. Nicoletto, the other guard, Marco himself, waiting to see if I was soft, weak, a liability. Repayment, I said slowly, with interest. Dario's expression didn't change. And if he can't pay, then he works it off. How? I looked at Marco, saw the fear, the shame, the desperate love of a father trying to save his child. I saw my own father in him, and I hated it. His daughter gets the surgery, I said. You pay for it. He works for free until the debt is cleared, plus 20% interest. Silence. Nicoletto snorted. Soft. Dario raised a hand. Silence fell like a guillotine. Interesting. He stood, walked to Marco. Do you accept these terms? Yes, God, yes, thank you. Don't thank me. Thank her. Dario glanced at me. But understand this, Marco. If you steal again, if you betray this mercy, I won't be so generous. Next time, it's not just your job you'll lose. I understand, signore. I swear. Get him out. Dario waved his hand. Nicoletto cut the ropes, hauled Marco to his feet. When we were alone, Dario turned to me. You surprised me. Did I pass or fail? Neither. He stepped closer. You showed mercy. In this world, that's either wisdom or weakness. We'll see which. You wanted me to kill him. I wanted to see what you choose. His fingers brushed my cheek. Most people in your position would have ordered his death to prove their loyalty. You didn't. Because I'm not most people. No. His smile was strange, almost proud. You're not. We had lunch at the restaurant after. Real lunch, like we were normal people on a normal date, except nothing about this was normal. Tell me about your mother, Dario said, twirling pasta on his fork. Why? Because I know everything else about you, but she's a ghost in your file. I took a long sip of wine. She left when I was 12. Couldn't handle my father's world. Last I heard, she was in Argentina. Do you miss her? Every day. The honesty surprised me. Do you miss yours? His jaw tightened. She's dead. I'm sorry. Don't be. She died free. He set down his fork. My father killed her, not with his hands, but with his choices. She knew too much, became a liability. Jesus. How old were you? 16. His eyes were distant. Old enough to understand, young enough to still care. Is that when you took over? That's when I learned that love is a weapon. He looked at me. And the only way to survive is to make sure you're the one holding it. My heart ached. For him. For the boy he'd been. I'm not a weapon, Dario. Everyone's a weapon, Ilara. The question is who's pulling the trigger. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing Marco's face, hearing his pleading. I'd shown mercy, but how long before mercy became a luxury I couldn't afford? A knock at my door. Soft, hesitant. I opened it. Dario stood there barefoot, wearing only dark slacks. His chest was a map of scars, bullet wounds, knife cuts, stories written in flesh. "Can't sleep either," he asked. "What are you doing here?" "Checking on you." He leaned against the door frame. "Today was your first real test. Most people break after." "I'm not broken." "I know." His gaze traveled over me. I was wearing a silk nightgown, thin enough to be indecent. "That's the problem." "Problem?" He stepped inside, closed the door. "You're supposed to be a pawn, Ilara, a symbol, something I control." He moved closer, voice dropping. "But you keep surprising me, challenging me. Making you what?" "Want you." The words hung in the air, electric. "You said you don't fuck women who don't want you." "I don't." His hand cupped my face. "So tell me you don't want this. Tell me I'm a monster and you hate me and you'd rather die than let me touch you." I should have said it, should have pushed him away. Instead, I grabbed his wrist, held his hand against my cheek. "I can't." "Can't what?" "Tell you I don't want you." The confession ripped from my throat. "Because I do, and I hate myself for it." His eyes darkened. "Good." Then his mouth was on mine. The kiss was fire and fury, his hands in my hair, my nails digging into his shoulders. He tasted like whiskey and danger, and I couldn't get enough. He backed me against the wall, his body a brand against mine. "Say it," he growled against my lips. "Say you're mine." "I'm—" A phone buzzed. His. He pulled away, cursing, checked the screen. His entire demeanor changed, cold, lethal. "What is it?" I asked. "We have a problem." He was already moving toward the door. "Stay here. Lock this door. Don't open it for anyone but me." "Dario." "Now, Ilara." He left. The door clicked shut, and I was alone, heart racing, lips swollen, body aching. Whatever was happening out there, it was about to change everything. Engagement question. Do you think Ilara made the right choice with Marco, or should she have been more ruthless? Drop your thoughts below. I didn't lock the door. Instead, I dressed quickly. Jeans, black sweater, boots, and slipped into the hallway. Voices echoed from downstairs, angry, sharp. I crept along the corridor, staying in shadows. My father had taught me to move silently, a skill I'd never thought I'd use in a place like this. The voices grew clearer as I approached the main staircase. "Should have killed him when you had the chance." "Nicoletto." "It would have started a war." Dario's voice tight with controlled rage. "I needed time to consolidate." "Time's up. Lirio's made his move." Lirio, the name from the background story. Dario's enforcer, the one with jealousy in his veins. "Where?" Dario asked. "The warehouse in Ostia. Took out 3 of our men, stole the shipment." "How much?" 10 million in product." Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. "He's aligned with someone," Dario said finally. "He's not smart enough to do this alone." "The Santoris." My blood froze. "Thorn?" Dario's laugh was bitter. "That spineless bastard doesn't have the balls." "Not Thorn. His brother, Cristiano." Uncle Cristiano, my father's younger brother, the one who'd always hated being second in command. The one with ambition and no morals to temper it. "He's using Lirio to destabilize you," Nicoletto continued. "Thinks if he can prove you're weak, he can renegotiate the alliance." "By stealing from me?" "By proving you can't control your own men." A crash, something breaking. "Where's Lirio now?" "We don't know. Gone underground." "Find him." Dario's voice dropped to a whisper, the most dangerous sound of all. "And when you do, bring him to me alive. I want him to watch everything he loves burn before I put a bullet in his skull. Footsteps. They were moving. I darted back down the hallway, heart slamming against my ribs. Made it to my room just as voices entered the corridor, locked the door, leaned against it, breathing hard. Uncle Cristiano was trying to overthrow Dario, using me as the bridge between families, and I was the perfect pawn, already in Dario's house, already in his bed, almost, already trusted enough to access his businesses, a spy in plain sight, except I wasn't a spy. Was I? Morning came too fast. Dario appeared at my door at dawn, looking like he hadn't slept, dark circles under his eyes, jaw tight. Get dressed. We're going somewhere. Where? To visit your family. My stomach dropped. Why? Because your uncle has declared war on me, and you're going to help me end it. The drive to my family's compound felt like a funeral procession. Dario sat beside me in the back of the SUV, silent, staring out the window at the countryside rolling past. Olive groves and vineyards, beauty hiding brutality. What do you want me to do? I asked finally. Nothing. Just be yourself. That's not an answer. He turned. Your uncle thinks you're a hostage, a victim. He'll try to rescue you, turn you against me. His hand found mine, laced our fingers together. I need you to let him think he's succeeding. You want me to lie to my family. I want you to survive. His grip tightened. Because if Cristiano succeeds, he won't stop with me. He'll kill your father too. Anyone who stands between him and power. How do you know? Because it's what I'd do. The honesty was brutal. We arrived at the compound, smaller than Dario's villa, but fortified. Guards everywhere. Uncle Cristiano met us at the gate. Tall, silver-haired, charming smile that didn't reach his eyes. Dario, what an unexpected pleasure. Cristiano, Dario's voice was ice. We need to talk. Of course. Come in. He glanced at me. Something flickered in his expression. Calculation. We were led to a sitting room. Espresso was served. Pleasantries exchanged. All theater. I hear you've had trouble with your men, Cristiano said, stirring sugar into his coffee. Nothing I can't handle. Of course, but if you need assistance, I don't. Tension crackled. Cristiano turned to me. Elara, mia cara, how are you? Fine, uncle. Are you? Because your father is worried. Giving you to Dario was difficult for him. Liar. Thorne hadn't lost a minute of sleep. I'm adjusting. That's good. That's very good. His smile widened. But if you ever need anything, help, protection, a way out, you only have to ask. There it was, the offer. I appreciate that, I said carefully. Dario's hand found my thigh under the table, squeezed once, a warning or reassurance I couldn't tell. Where's Thorne? Dario asked. Away, business in Naples. Convenient. Isn't it? Cristiano leaned back. You know, Dario, the old ways are dying. Men like you and my brother, you cling to honor, to tradition, but the world is changing. Those who adapt survive, and those who betray get buried. Exactly. Cristiano's eyes gleamed. So tell me, which will you be? Dario stood. We're done here. So soon? I've heard enough. Outside, as we walked to the car, I grabbed Dario's arm. He's going to move against you, soon. I know. Then why did we come? He turned, cupped my face. Because I needed to see if you'd betray me. My heart stopped. What? He offered you a way out. You didn't take it. His thumb brushed my lip. That's worth more than any weapon. I'm not. I wouldn't. I know. He kissed me. Soft, brief. Now I know. The attack came 3 days later. I was in Dario's office, reviewing restaurant invoices, when gunfire erupted outside. Glass shattered, alarms blared. Dario burst through the door, gun in hand. Get down. What's happening? Lirio, he's here. He pulled me behind the desk. Stay low. Don't move. I'm not hiding well. You're not trained for this. His voice cracked. Please, Ilara, for once, just listen. More gunfire. Shouting. The wet sound of bullets hitting flesh. Dario moved to the window, fired 3 shots. Someone screamed. Nicoletto appeared, bleeding from his shoulder. East wing is breached. They're pushing toward the main house. How many? 15, maybe 20. Where's Lirio? Don't know. A figure appeared in the doorway. Not Lirio. Worse. Uncle Cristiano, holding a gun, pointed at Dario. Hello, nephew-in-law. Time stopped. Dario slowly raised his hands. Cristiano, didn't expect you to get your hands dirty. Desperate times. My uncle's smile was cold. Step away from the girl. No. Dario, Ilara, stay behind me. Cristiano sighed. This is disappointing. I'd hoped we could do this civilly. There's nothing civil about betrayal. Betrayal? Cristiano laughed. You took my niece. You humiliated my family. This is justice. This is a coup. Same thing. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Then I saw it. Dario's gun, lying on the desk, 3 feet away. I dove, grabbed it, swung around, and pointed it at my uncle. Ilara, Cristiano's eyes widened. What are you doing? Choosing a side. My hand shook, but my voice was steel. Don't be foolish. I'm your blood. You're a traitor. I cocked the hammer. Drop your weapon. You won't shoot me. Won't I? We stared at each other. Uncle and niece. Family and enemy. You've changed, he said softly. He's corrupted you. No. He showed me who I really am. Cristiano's face hardened. Then you'll die with him. His finger tensed on the trigger, and Dario moved, faster than thought, knocked Cristiano's gun aside, drove a knife into his throat. Blood sprayed. My uncle collapsed, gurgling, eyes wide with shock and betrayal. Dario stood over him, chest heaving. That's for threatening what's mine. Silence fell, then Nicoletto's voice. Clear. They're retreating. It was over. I dropped the gun, legs giving out. Dario caught me, held me tight. You chose me, he whispered into my hair. You chose me. I know. There's no going back now. I know. He pulled back, searched my face. Are you okay? I looked at my uncle's body, the blood pooling on Italian marble. No, I said honestly, but I will be. Because I just learned something crucial. In this world, loyalty isn't given. It's forged in blood, and mine now belonged to Dario Vasari. They found Lirio's body 3 days later, hanging from a bridge over the Tiber, gutted like a fish, a message carved into his chest. Tradimento. Traitor. Dario didn't claim responsibility. He didn't have to. Everyone knew. My father came to the villa 2 days after Cristiano's funeral. I watched from the window as his car pulled up, watched him step out looking 10 years older. Do you want to see him? Dario asked, appearing behind me. No, yes, I don't know. He's still your father. Is he? I turned. Fathers don't sell their daughters. In our world, they do. He pulled me close. But you're not his anymore. You're mine. The possessiveness should have angered me. Instead, it felt like safety. What does he want? To negotiate. The Centauri family is fractured now. Cristiano's faction is in chaos. Thorn needs an alliance. With you. With us. Dario kissed my forehead. You're not just my whatever you are anymore. You're a power player. He knows it. Whatever you are. We still hadn't defined it. Lover, partner, prisoner, all of the above? I'll see him, I said. But you're staying. Wouldn't miss it. My father looked smaller somehow, diminished. He sat across from us in Dario's study, hands folded, eyes downcast. Ilara. Thorn. I used his first name deliberately, watched him flinch. I owe you an apology. You owe me more than that. My voice was cold. You gave me away like property. Your brother tried to kill the man you gave me to, and now you're here because you need something. I need protection. My family, what's left of it, is vulnerable. That's not my problem. Elara, please, don't. I stood, walked to the window. You made your choice. I made mine. Silence stretched. Then Dario spoke. She's right. You have no leverage here, Thorn. My father's jaw tightened. Name your price. Already paid. I have your daughter. Then what do you want? Dario stood, poured 3 glasses of whiskey, handed one to my father, one to me. Neil. What? You heard me. Dario's voice was silk over steel. You want my protection? You want to salvage what's left of the Centauri name? Then kneel before your daughter and beg her forgiveness. My father's face went white. You can't be serious. I'm always serious. Dario sat on the edge of his desk. She's the one you wronged. She decides your fate. Thorn looked at me, really looked at me, maybe for the first time in years. Elara, do it. The words came out harder than I intended. Prove you're actually sorry. For a moment, I thought he'd refuse, walk out, choose pride over survival. Then, slowly, he lowered himself to his knees. The great Thorn Ravello, on his knees before his daughter. I'm sorry, his voice cracked, for everything, for failing you, for trading you like I did. You deserved better. Tears burned my eyes. I blinked them back. You're right, I did. I walked past him, stopped at the door. You can have your alliance, but you answer to me now. Not Dario. Me. Any family decisions go through me first. Elara, I'm still your father. No, I turned. You stopped being my father the night you handed me over. Now you're just another soldier in our army. Our army. The words tasted like power. I left him there, kneeling, broken, and I didn't look back. That night, Dario found me on the balcony overlooking the gardens. Rome sparkled below like scattered diamonds, beautiful and cold. How do you feel? He asked, handing me a glass of wine. Empty, full, I don't know. I took a long drink. Is this who I am now? Someone who makes her father kneel? You're someone who demands respect. There's a difference. Is there? He leaned against the railing beside me. I've been thinking about something. Dangerous habit. His lips curved. We need to get married. I choked on my wine. Excuse me? Married, you and me. He said it like he was discussing the weather. It's the only way to solidify the alliance. Make it official. You're insane. Probably. He turned to face me fully. But think about it, Elara. Right now, you're still technically your father's daughter. Subject to his authority, legally speaking. As my wife, you'd have real power, access to everything I control. You want a business arrangement. I want you. The rawness in his voice stopped me. I've wanted you since that first night, standing in the rain like some avenging angel. But yes, strategically, it makes sense. How romantic. I'm not romantic. I'm practical. He cupped my face. But I'm also honest. You're the first person in years who's challenged me, surprised me, made me feel something other than anger or emptiness. My heart hammered. Dario, you don't have to answer now. Think about it. He brushed his thumb across my cheekbone. But know this, whether you marry me or not, you're mine, and I'm yours. That's not changing. He kissed me then. Slow, deep, devastating. When he pulled away, I was breathless. One condition, I whispered. Name it. This isn't just an arrangement. If I marry you, it's real. All of it. It's already real, Angel. His smile was almost gentle. Has been since the beginning. The engagement was announced 3 days later. The Mafia world exploded with gossip. Dario Vasari, the untouchable king, marrying the daughter of a lesser family, a girl given to him as punishment. Some called it weakness. Others, genius. I called it survival. The wedding was planned for 3 weeks out, small, private, at the villa. Vespera Nero arrived from Sicily, Dario's sister finally appearing from the shadows. She was stunning, dark hair, darker eyes, with a smile that promised secrets. "So you're the one who tamed my brother," she said, looking me up and down. "I didn't tame him. I just understood him." "Same thing." She linked her arm through mine. "Come, we have much to discuss, including your wedding night." "Oh God, relax, I'm here to help." Her laugh was wicked. "And to warn you." "About what?" "About the cost of loving a man like Dario." Her smile faded. "He'll give you everything, but he'll also demand everything, your loyalty, your soul, your blood if necessary." "I know what I'm getting into." "Do you?" She stopped walking. "Because there are people who won't accept this marriage, who see you as a liability, and they'll come for you, Alara. Not directly. Dario's too dangerous for that. But they'll find ways." "Let them try." "Good answer." She smiled again. "I think you'll do just fine." The dreams started that night. Nightmares, really. I'd wake up gasping, convinced I was drowning, or burning, or buried alive. Dario would hold me, whisper reassurances, but the dreams wouldn't stop. "It's your mind processing trauma," he said one night, stroking my hair. "You've been through hell these past few weeks." "I killed a man." The words came out small. "Well, watched you kill him. Same thing." "It's not the same thing, and Cristiano made his choice." "He was my uncle." "He was a traitor." Dario tilted my chin up. "You can't afford guilt in this world, Alara. It'll eat you alive." "How do you live with it? All the people you've killed?" I remind myself why I did it. Protection, justice, survival. His eyes held mine. "Every life I've taken was a choice between them or the people I love." "Do you love me?" The question hung in the air. He was silent for so long I thought he wouldn't answer. Then, "Yes." One word, simple, devastating. "Since when?" "Since you pointed a gun at your uncle to protect me." He kissed my forehead. "Maybe before. I'm not good at this." "At what?" "Feelings, love. I've spent so long avoiding them." "Why?" "Because everyone I've ever loved has died. My mother, my brother, people I trusted." His voice went hollow. "Love is the greatest weakness in my world." "Then why risk it with me?" "Because you're worth the risk." He pulled me closer. "And because I'm tired of being alone." I kissed him then, poured everything into it, my fear, my hope, my surrender. "I love you too," I whispered against his lips. "God help me, I do." "Then marry me, not for strategy or power, just marry me." "Yes." Engagement question. Is Alara making the right choice marrying Dario, or is she diving deeper into darkness? Tell me what you think. The wedding dress arrived in a black box tied with red silk. I opened it alone in my room, heart pounding. Inside was the most beautiful gown I'd ever seen, white lace with delicate beading, form-fitting bodice, flowing skirt. Traditional, yet dangerous. Perfect. A note lay on top, in Dario's handwriting. "For my queen. Wear it and rule beside me." I held the dress to my chest, overwhelmed. This was really happening. A knock interrupted my thoughts. Serafina stood at the door, my best friend, whom I'd finally been allowed to contact. "Oh my God." She rushed in, eyes wide. "Alara, what the hell is happening? Your father said you're marrying Dario Vasari?" "It's complicated." "Complicated? The man is a mafia boss." She grabbed my shoulders. "Are you being forced? Blink twice if you need help." I laughed despite everything. "I'm not being forced." "Then you're insane." "Probably." I pulled her to sit on the bed. "But I love him." "You love," she stared. "Stockholm Syndrome. That's what this is." "It's not. I know how it looks, but I struggled for words. He sees me, really sees me, not as property or a pawn, but as an equal. An equal who happens to be marrying her captor. He's not my captor anymore. If anything, we're partners. Serafina shook her head. I'm worried about you. Don't be. I'm exactly where I need to be. She didn't look convinced. Just promise me something. What? If things go wrong, if he hurts you, you'll run. You'll call me and we'll disappear. He won't hurt me. Everyone hurts everyone eventually. Her eyes were sad, especially in your world. Dario's past came calling 2 days before the wedding. Her name was Valentina Greco. Tall, blonde, stunning. She appeared at the villa unannounced, demanding to see Dario. I watched from the upstairs window as he met her in the garden. They spoke for 10 minutes. She gesticulated wildly. He stood still as marble. Then she slapped him. He didn't flinch. She left in tears. I was waiting in his office when he came in. Who was that? I kept my voice neutral. No one important. Didn't look like no one. He poured himself a drink. Downed it. An old friend. Friend? Lover, years ago, before I took over the family. He set down the glass. She heard about the wedding, wanted to express her feelings, which were that I'm making a mistake, that you're too young, too innocent, too... He stopped. Too what? Too good for me. He finally looked at me. She's not wrong. I stood, walked to him. What did you tell her? That it's none of her business. Dario. That I love you. That nothing she says will change that. He cupped my face. Are you jealous? Should I be? No, Valentina was a distraction, a way to pass time. You're... what? Everything. The word settled between us, heavy with meaning. Does she still love you? I asked. Probably, but I don't love her. Haven't in years. Why did you let her go? Because she wanted more than I could give. Marriage, children, a normal life. His thumb brushed my lip. She deserved better than what I am. And I don't? You're different. You understand this world. You chose it. I didn't choose it. I was thrown into it. And yet you stayed. He pulled me close. That's the difference. That night I couldn't sleep again. I wandered the villa, ending up in Dario's private study, the one he kept locked. The door was open. An invitation or a test, I wasn't sure. Inside were secrets, files on every major Mafia family in Italy, maps marked with territories, ledgers detailing transactions that would put him in prison for life, and photos, old ones, sepia-toned, black and white. I picked up one, a young boy, maybe 8, standing next to a woman. They were smiling. That's my mother, Dario's voice made me jump, and me, before everything went to hell. You look happy. I was, for about 5 more minutes. He took the photo, stared at it. That was the day my father came home and told her she'd been asking too many questions, that she needed to remember her place. What happened? She didn't remember, so he made an example of her. His voice was flat. Broke her arm in front of me, told me that's what happens to women who forget their purpose. My heart broke. Dario. I swore I'd never be like him, never raise a hand to someone I loved. He set down the photo. But I became him anyway, just in different ways. No, you're nothing like him. I'm exactly like him. I use violence to control, but you don't hurt the people you love. Don't I? He turned. I've dragged you into this world, made you complicit in murder, changed you into someone who can watch her uncle die and not flinch. That was my choice. Was it? Or did I give you no other option? I grabbed his face, forced him to look at me. Listen to me. I chose you, not because I had to, not because I was scared, but because I wanted to, because you're worth choosing. Even knowing what I am, especially knowing what you are. I kissed him. I see your darkness, Dario, and I'm not afraid of it. because I have my own. He kissed me back, desperate, hungry, lifted me onto the desk, scattering papers. Say it again, he murmured against my throat. I choose you. Again, I choose you. Clothes fell away, hands explored, bodies joined, and in that moment, surrounded by his secrets and sins, I'd never felt more certain. This was where I belonged, in the darkness with him. Morning brought news. Nicoletto burst into the dining room, interrupting breakfast. We have a problem. Dario set down his espresso. What kind? The Calabrian families. They're refusing to recognize the marriage. On what grounds? They say Alara has no legitimate claim to family power, that she's a hostage pretending to be a bride. That's ridiculous, I said. Is it? Nicoletto glanced at me. No offense, signorina, but you were given as payment, not exactly a traditional engagement. Careful, Dario's voice dropped to dangerous levels. You're talking about my wife. Not yet, I'm not, and that's their point. Until the marriage is consummated and legally binding, you're vulnerable. They could challenge your authority, claim you're weakened by sentiment. Dario stood. Then we move up the wedding. To when? Tomorrow. My stomach dropped. Tomorrow? Problem? He looked at me. That's fast. Cold feet? No, but then it's settled. He turned to Nicoletto. Send word. Tomorrow at sunset. Anyone who doesn't attend is declaring themselves an enemy. Nicoletto left. I sat there processing. 24 hours. In 24 hours, I'd be Alara Vasari, bound to this man, this world, forever. Hey, Dario crouched beside my chair. Talk to me. I'm scared, I admitted. Of me? Of losing myself completely. He took my hands. You won't, I promise. Marriage doesn't erase who you are. It amplifies it. What if I'm not strong enough? You're the strongest person I know. He kissed my knuckles. You survived your father's betrayal, your uncle's treachery. You stood up to men twice your size with nothing but courage. If that's not strength, I don't know what is. I had you, and you'll always have me. He pulled me to my feet. But Alara, you never needed me. You just chose to want me. There's a difference. He was right. I'd survive before Dario. I'd survive with him. And maybe, just maybe, I'd thrive. Okay, I said. Tomorrow. Let's do this. His smile was pure relief. Tomorrow. The villa transformed overnight. White roses appeared everywhere, cascading from balconies, lining pathways, filling vases in every room. The scent was intoxicating, almost overwhelming. Death flowers, some called them. Perfect for a Mafia wedding. I spent the day in forced isolation. Tradition dictated the bride and groom shouldn't see each other before the ceremony. Vespera kept me company, along with Serafina and Lucia. You need to eat, Lucia fussed, bringing me pasta I couldn't stomach. I can't. Too nervous. Nervous about what? Marrying the most powerful man in Rome? Vespera laughed. Most women would kill for that. Most women haven't seen what I've seen. True, she grew serious. But you're not most women. You're about to become a Vasari. Do you understand what that means? Power, protection, a target on my back. All of that, but also responsibility. She moved closer. The Vasari women aren't just wives. We're the backbone of the family. We manage, we strategize, we protect. My mother did it. I do it. Now you'll do it. Your mother? I remembered Dario's story. I thought, she's not dead. That's the official story. Vespera's smile was bitter. But the truth? She's in hiding. Has been for 20 years. Dario doesn't know. My blood froze. What? Our father didn't kill her. She escaped, faked her death, left us to save herself. Why are you telling me this? Because you need to understand what this family does to women. It breaks them, turns them into ghosts or monsters. Her eyes held mine. You have to decide which you'll be. Neither. I'll be something else. Like what? A queen. The word came out stronger than I felt. Dario wants a partner. I'll give him one, but on my terms. Vespra studied me, then smiled. Good. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Evening came too quickly. The ceremony was set for sunset, traditional Mafia timing when day surrenders to night. Symbolic. I stood in my room, staring at myself in the mirror. The dress fit perfectly. My hair was swept up, loose tendrils framing my face. Minimal makeup. Dario preferred me natural. I looked like a bride. I felt like a warrior. Knock, knock. Serafina peeked in. Ready? As I'll ever be. She came closer, adjusted my veil. I'm still worried, you know. I know. But I also see something in you I've never seen before. What? Purpose. Like you finally found where you belong. She hugged me. Just promise you'll still call me, even when you're queen of the underworld. I laughed through tears. I promise. A commotion outside. Raised voices. We rushed to the window. 3 black cars had arrived. Men in suits poured out. Who is that? Serafina asked. My heart sank. The Calabrian families, the ones who don't recognize the marriage. Vespera appeared at the door. Dario needs you downstairs. Now. But the ceremony, forget tradition. This is more important. I descended the staircase, still in my wedding dress, feeling like some surreal vision. The main hall was packed with men, Dario's soldiers on one side, the Calabrians on the other. At the center stood an old man with silver hair and hard eyes. Don Salvatore, head of the Calabrian syndicate. Dario stood across from him, jaw tight, hands clenched. All conversation stopped when I appeared. Ah, Don Salvatore smiled. The bride herself. How convenient. I moved to Dario's side. His hand found mine, squeezed. Don Salvatore was just explaining his concerns, Dario said, voice dangerously calm. And what concerns are those? I asked. That you're a pawn, a child playing at power. The Don's eyes raked over me. That Dario's attachment to you makes him weak, vulnerable. I see. I stepped forward. And what would convince you otherwise? Nothing. Once a hostage, always a hostage. Then you're a fool. My voice rang out. I'm not a hostage. I'm a partner. And if you think loving someone makes Dario weak, you understand nothing about power. Bold words for a girl who was sold like cattle. I was traded. There's a difference. My father made a business decision. I made a personal one. I moved closer. I chose this man, this life, this family, and I'll defend it with everything I have. Pretty speech, but words mean nothing. Then let me show you. I turned to Dario. Give me your gun. The room went silent. Ilara, Dario started, trust me. He hesitated, then slowly drew his weapon, handed it to me. I checked the chamber. Loaded. Safety off. Turned back to Don Salvatore. You think I'm weak? That I'm playing pretend? I raised the gun, pointed it at the chandelier above us. I've watched men die, helped plan attacks, stood beside Dario while he executed traitors. I'm not innocent anymore. I pulled the trigger. The gunshot was deafening. Crystal exploded, raining down like deadly snow. Nobody moved. That was a warning shot, I said calmly. The next one won't be. I lowered the gun. I'm not asking for your approval, Don Salvatore. I'm telling you how it is. I'm marrying Dario Vasari tonight. I'm becoming part of this family. And if you challenge that, you challenge both of us. Silence stretched. Then Don Salvatore laughed. Actually laughed. Well, perhaps I misjudged you. He looked at Dario. She's got fire, this one. Very well. You have my blessing. I don't need your blessing, I said, but I'll accept your respect. He nodded slowly. You have it? The tension broke. Men relaxed. Conversations resumed. Dario pulled me aside, eyes wild. What the hell was that? Necessary. I handed back his gun. They needed to see I'm not afraid. You could have gotten yourself killed. But I didn't. I straightened his tie. Now, I believe we have a wedding to attend. He kissed me, hard, possessive. You're incredible. I'm yours. Same thing. The ceremony was beautiful. Candles everywhere. The smell of roses and incense. Dario in a black tux that made him look like sin personified. A priest spoke words in Latin I barely heard. All I could focus on was Dario's eyes, locked on mine, burning with intensity. Do you, Alara Centauri, take this man? I do. The priest blinked. I wasn't finished. I don't care. I do. Dario's smile was blinding. And do you, Dario Vasari? I do. Then by the power. Skip to the end, Dario said. I very well. You may kiss the bride. He did, and the world fell away. There was only us, only this moment, only the promise of forever, however long that might be. When we broke apart, the room erupted in applause. I was Alara Vasari now, for better or worse, in blood and in love. Engagement question. Was that the most badass wedding entrance ever, or what? What would you have done in Alara's position? Comment below. The reception was controlled chaos. Champagne flowed. Food appeared in endless waves. Music played. Traditional Italian mixed with modern edge. I moved through the crowd on Dario's arm, accepting congratulations from people who'd probably kill me given half a chance. Such was Mafia life. You're smiling, Dario murmured. Am I? It's terrifying, in a good way. I laughed. I'm happy. Is that allowed? For tonight? Yes. He pulled me closer. Tomorrow we go back to war. But tonight, you're just my wife. My wife. The word still felt surreal. Don Salvatore approached, 2 glasses in hand. For the bride and groom, a toast. We accepted. I studied the amber liquid, whiskey, aged, expensive. To power, Don Salvatore said, raising his glass. And to those brave enough to seize it. We drank. The whiskey burned going down. Good burn. Cleansing. Your display earlier, Don Salvatore continued. Impressive. But tell me, Signora Vasari, would you have actually shot me if I'd challenged you further? I met his eyes. Without hesitation, he laughed again. I believe you. Dario, you've chosen well. This one might actually survive. That's the plan, Dario said dryly. Good, because what's coming will require strength. Don Salvatore's expression darkened. The northern families are mobilizing. They see your marriage as an opportunity to test boundaries. Let them test, Dario said. They'll find them reinforced. Will they? Or will they find a man distracted by his pretty new wife? Careful, Don. I mean no disrespect, but sentiment is a liability in our world. You know this. I also know that my father ruled through fear alone. He died paranoid, alone, with a knife in his back from his own cousin. Dario's hand tightened on my waist. I choose differently. And if that choice destroys you, then I'll die knowing I lived on my own terms. Don Salvatore studied us both. I hope you're right, for all our sakes. He left. He has a point, I said quietly. No, he doesn't. Dario turned me to face him. Power built only on fear is fragile. It cracks the moment you show weakness. But power built on loyalty, on trust, that's unbreakable. You really believe that? I have to. His hand cupped my cheek. Because I can't imagine doing this without you anymore. Midnight came. Tradition dictated we leave the reception early, consummate the marriage while guests continued celebrating. Very romantic. We slipped away through private corridors, Dario leading me to rooms I'd never seen, his personal chambers, larger than my entire suite, dark wood, deep burgundy fabrics, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Rome. He locked the door behind us. Suddenly I was nervous. We'd kissed, touched, but never. Second thoughts? He asked, reading my expression. No, just Processing. We don't have to do anything tonight. Yes, we do. Everyone's expecting. Fuck what everyone expects. He came closer. This is about us. No one else. I took a breath. I want this. I want you. Are you sure? Instead of answering, I reached back, began unhooking the dress. His eyes darkened. Let me. His fingers replaced mine, gentle, reverent. The dress fell away, pooling at my feet. I stood before him in nothing but white lace. Beautiful, he breathed. You're so fucking beautiful. He kissed me then, slow, deep, tasting like whiskey and promises. I fumbled with his jacket. He shrugged it off. We moved together, a dance we choreographed without words. Clothes disappeared, hands explored, bodies joined. It hurt at first. He was patient, gentle, whispering assurances against my skin. Then pain transformed into something else. Pleasure, connection, completion. We moved together, finding rhythm, building toward something infinite. When I shattered, he followed, my name on his lips like a prayer. After, we lay tangled in sheets, sweat slicked and breathless. Mine, he murmured into my hair. Yours, I agreed. Forever. Forever. Dawn broke over Rome. I woke to find Dario already up, standing at the window, phone to his ear. His body language was wrong, tense, angry. Don't care what it takes, find him. He hung up, noticed me awake. Sorry, didn't mean to wake you. What's wrong? He hesitated. Then, Lirio's brother, Dante. He's gone underground. Intel suggests he's planning retaliation for his brother's death. My stomach nodded. How serious? Serious enough that I'm moving you to the safe house today. What? No, I'm not hiding. You're my wife now, Alara. That makes you a target. He sat on the bed. I can't lose you. I won't. So I'm supposed to run every time there's a threat? Until we neutralize Dante, yes. That's not living. That's existing. Better existing than dead. I grabbed his face. Listen to me. I didn't marry you to hide in shadows. I married you to stand beside you in everything. This isn't negotiable. Yes, it is. I threw back the covers. I'm Alara Vasari now, not some delicate flower who needs protection. I'm your partner. Start treating me like one. We stared at each other, battle of wills. Finally, he sighed. You're going to give me a heart attack. Probably, but you'll die happy. Despite everything, he smiled. Fine, but you're getting a security detail, non-negotiable. Deal. The day was spent preparing for war. Maps spread across tables, calls made, soldiers mobilized. Dante Malvagio was a ghost, but ghosts could be caught. I sat in on strategy meetings, offered insights, asked questions. The men were skeptical at first, until I pointed out a flaw in their tracking algorithm that could have gotten people killed. After that, they listened. You're good at this, Nicoletto said grudgingly. I'm good at lots of things, I replied. You just never bothered to notice. Vespera appeared mid-afternoon, pulled me aside. I have something for you. She handed me a small box. Inside was a ring, silver, delicate, with a hidden compartment. What is it? Poison. She said it so casually. Not lethal, but enough to incapacitate someone for 6 hours, just in case. I stared at her. You're giving me poison on my first day of marriage? Welcome to the family, she smiled. We Vasari women look out for each other. Dante struck that night. Not at us. At one of our warehouses in Ostia. Burned it to the ground. 3 men dead. Millions in losses. Dario's rage was volcanic. He's taunting us, he snarled, pacing his office. Or testing our response, I said. He wants to see how we react. Then we crush him, find everyone who helped him, make examples. Or we think strategically. I stood. What does Dante want? Beyond revenge? I don't. Dario stopped. Power. He thinks killing his brother makes him weak. He's trying to reclaim status. So give him what he wants. Excuse me? Not really, but make him think you will. I moved to the map. He's operating from Sicily, right? Isolated, paranoid, probably low on resources. So? So we offer a meeting, neutral ground, promise to negotiate. That's insane. He'll never believe it. He will if I'm the one who makes the offer. I turned. Think about it. The new bride trying to bring peace. He'll see it as weakness, an opportunity. You're not using yourself as bait. I'm using myself as strategy. There's a difference. He stared at me. You realize if this goes wrong, it won't, because you'll have snipers everywhere, right? Slowly he smiled. You're terrifying, you know that. I learned from the best. The message was sent the next morning. Signor Malvagio, I am Ilara Vasari, wife of Dario. I wish to discuss terms of peace. Meet me in 3 days at the Chiesa di San Pietro in Sicily. Come alone. I will do the same. We waited. 2 days of silence. Then, agreed. But if this is a trap, your blood will paint the altar. Charming, I said, reading the response. Dario was already shaking his head. Absolutely not. We're not doing this. We already are. I forwarded the message to Nicoletto. 3 days. That gives us time to prepare. Ilara. Don't. I turned to him. You said I was your partner. Prove it. Trust me. I do trust you. I don't trust Dante. Neither do I. That's why we'll be ready. I pulled up a map of the church on my tablet. Vespera knows Sicily better than anyone. She can position your men. I'll wear a wire. Dante won't suspect. He thinks I'm some naive girl playing peacemaker. You're asking me to let my wife walk into a death trap. I'm asking you to let your partner execute a strategy. I moved closer. Dante's emotional, impulsive. That's his weakness. We use it. Dario pulled me against him, buried his face in my hair. If anything happens to you, it won't. Promise me. I promise. I pulled back, met his eyes. I'm not going anywhere. You're stuck with me. Good. He kissed me, hard, desperate. Because I just got you. I'm not losing you now. Sicily smelled like salt and citrus. We arrived 2 days early, staying in a Villa Vespera owned under a false name. The church, Chiesa di San Pietro, was ancient, perched on a cliff overlooking the Mediterranean. Beautiful and isolated, perfect for an ambush, either ours or Dante's. Final checks, Nicoletto said, adjusting the wire under my blouse. Don't touch this. Don't fidget with your necklace. It's a backup, Mike. And for God's sake, don't take off your ring. The poison one. The tracker one. He held up his phone, showing a blinking dot. We lose signal. We storm in. No questions. Understood. Dario appeared in the doorway. He'd been tense all morning, barely speaking. Can we have a moment? He asked. Nicoletto left. Dario approached slowly, like I might shatter. Last chance to back out. Not happening. Ilara, stop. I grabbed his hands. I know you're scared. I am too. But we're doing this together. You watching my back, me watching yours. Like always. Nothing about this is like always. His voice cracked. You're walking into a church to meet a man who wants you dead. How is that? Because I'm not the girl who was dragged here in the rain anymore. I squeezed his hands. I'm the woman who shot a chandelier at our wedding reception, who stood up to Don Salvatore, who married you despite everything. I'm stronger than you think. I know how strong you are. That's what terrifies me. He pulled me close. Strong people take risks get people killed. Then keep me alive. I kissed him softly. Do what you do best. Protect what's yours. You're not something I own. No, I'm someone you love. Even better reason. The church was empty when I arrived. Sunlight streamed through stained glass, painting the floor in fractured rainbows. The air smelled like incense and age. I walked down the center aisle, heels clicking on stone, stopped at the altar, waited. 5 minutes passed, 10, then footsteps behind me. I turned. Dante Malvagio stood in the doorway, younger than I expected, maybe 30, with Lirio's pale features but harder eyes. Signora Vasari, he moved closer, casual, confident. You actually came. I said I would. Forgive me if I don't trust the word of a Vasari. He circled me slowly. Where's your husband? Not here, as promised. You came alone? He laughed, either very brave or very stupid. Neither, just practical. I kept my voice steady. Your brother's death was murder, call it what it was. Justice. He betrayed Dario, stole from him, allied with traitors. What did you expect? Mercy, negotiation, something other than being strung up like an animal. This is the Mafia, Dante. Mercy is a luxury few can afford. Is that what you tell yourself? He stopped in front of me. To justify marrying the man who killed your uncle, who destroyed your family. My uncle was going to kill me. My family was already destroyed. I held his gaze. Dario saved me. Stockholm Syndrome. Love. The word echoed in the empty church. I love him, and I'm here because I don't want more blood spilled. Noble, but I don't believe you. He pulled a gun. I think you're here to lure me into a trap. My heart hammered. The gun was pointed at my chest. If I was, your men would already be dead. I gestured around us. We're alone, just you and me, like I promised. Then you're a fool. His finger tensed on the trigger. Did you really think I'd negotiate with the wife of the man who killed my brother? No, I smiled. I thought you'd try to kill me, and I counted on it. Confusion flickered across his face. What? Red dot on your chest, Dante. You've been in a sniper's scope since the moment you walked in. He looked down, saw the laser sight painting his heart, froze. Drop the gun, Dario's voice echoed from somewhere above. The choir loft. Or I drop you. Dante's jaw clenched. You lied. I said I'd come alone. I did. My husband and his men, they were already here. I stepped closer. You're not the only one who can set a trap. Ilara, move away from him, Dario commanded. I didn't. You have a choice, Dante, I said quietly. Drop the gun, walk away, disappear. We'll pretend this never happened. You expect me to just, or die here, in this church, your blood on holy ground, your family getting nothing. I tilted my head. Your brother made bad choices. Don't compound them. Silence stretched. The gun wavered. Why would you let me go? Dante asked. Because I'm tired of death. The truth rang in my voice. Because every body we stack up is another reason for someone else to seek revenge. The cycle never ends unless someone breaks it. Dario Vasari doesn't break cycles. He perpetuates them. Dario Vasari has me now, and I'm changing the rules. Dante studied me. You're serious. Completely. And if I come back, if I try again, then there won't be mercy next time. This is a one-time offer. He looked around, at the church, the altar, the gun still in his hand. Then slowly, carefully, he set it down. You're either a saint or a fool, Ilara Vasari. Neither. Just someone choosing differently. I stepped back. Go, now, before I change my mind. He nodded once, turned, walked toward the door, paused at the threshold. Your husband is lucky to have you. I know. He left. The red dot disappeared. Dario appeared from the shadows, gun lowered, face unreadable. Did that actually just happen? Nicoletto emerged behind him, looking stunned. It did. I picked up Dante's gun, ejected the magazine. He's gone. You let him go. Dario's voice was strange. After everything, you just let him walk away. Yes? Why? Because someone had to. I moved to him. Because mercy is rare in our world. Maybe it's time we change that. He could come back, try again. He won't. I saw his eyes. He's done. I touched Dario's face. Trust me. He pulled me into his arms, held me so tight I could barely breathe. You're insane, he muttered into my hair. You married me anyway. Best decision I ever made. 3 months later. No retaliation came. Dante vanished, some said to South America. Others claimed he'd joined the priesthood seeking redemption. The northern families, seeing Dario's power consolidated and his marriage solid, backed down. New alliances formed. Territory was negotiated rather than fought over. The Vasari Empire flourished. I managed the legitimate businesses, restaurants, hotels, the vineyard, turned them from fronts into actual profitable ventures, proved you could be powerful without leaving a trail of bodies. Mostly. There were still threats, challenges, moments when violence was the only language spoken. But there was also this. Sitting on the balcony at sunset, Dario's arm around me, Rome spread out below like a kingdom. What are you thinking? He asked. That I never imagined this. When my father handed me over, I thought my life was ending. I leaned into him. Turns out it was just beginning. Regrets? None. You? Only that I didn't find you sooner. He kissed my temple. Though I don't think I would have deserved you before. And you deserve me now? Hell no, but I'm keeping you anyway. I laughed. Good, because you're stuck with me. Forever? Forever. A phone buzzed. His. Always his. He checked it. Frowned. What? Vespera. She found something. About my mother. My heart stopped. What kind of something? She wants to talk in person. Says it's complicated. I thought of what Vespera had told me, that their mother wasn't dead, that she'd been in hiding for 20 years. Do you want me to come with you? I asked. No, stay here, manage things. He stood. I'll be back in a few days. Dario, it's fine. Whatever it is, we'll handle it. He pulled me up, kissed me deeply. I love you. I love you too. He left, and I stood on that balcony watching the sun sink into the Tiber, thinking about how strange life was. 6 months ago, I was a pawn in someone else's game. Now I was a queen in my own. 6 months ago, I hated the man who'd become my husband. Now I couldn't imagine existing without him. We were broken, both of us, scarred by violence and betrayal and the unforgiving world we'd been born into. But together, we were whole. 3 years later, the villa had changed. Still beautiful, still dangerous, but softer somehow, warmer. Children's laughter echoed through halls that once only knew whispers of death. Twin girls, Bianca and Gabriella, 3 years old with Dario's dark hair and my storm gray eyes. They were chaos incarnated, fearless and fierce, perfect. I watched from the kitchen as Dario chased them through the garden playing monster. They shrieked with delight, running on chubby legs, falling into his arms when he caught them. Your husband is a natural, Lucia said, setting down espresso. He is, I smiled. Never thought I'd see the day when Dario Vasari changed diapers. Love changes people. So does responsibility. The empire was stronger than ever. Dario had shifted focus, less violent expansion, more strategic partnerships. We'd legitimized 70% of the businesses. The rest, well, some things never fully shed their darkness. But we were different. Better. Our children would grow up knowing love alongside legacy, strength alongside compassion. They'd have choices we never did. Does he? I lifted her. Papa spoils you. That's my job, Dario said, appearing with Gabriella on his shoulders. Mama's job is to keep us all alive. Accurate. I kissed him. How was your day? Productive. Closed the deal with the Milanese. They're on board with the new distribution network. The clean one? The cleanest version we can manage. He set down Gabriella. Girls, go wash up, then cake. They scampered off, a whirlwind of energy. And Vespera? I asked quietly, his expression clouded. Still searching, no luck yet. 3 years since he'd learned his mother might be alive. 3 years of dead ends and false leads. I knew it haunted him. "She'll turn up," I said, "or she won't. Either way, you have us." "I know." He pulled me close. "You're right. I have everything I need." "Damn right you do." That night, after the girls were asleep, we sat in his study. Our study now shared space, reviewing reports. "The Centauri territory," I said. "My father's asking to expand." "What do you think?" "I think he's earned it. He's been loyal, hasn't caused problems." "Then give him the expansion. Your call." I made a note, smiled at the irony. My father now answered to me. The daughter he'd sold off like property now controlled his fate. Justice had a sense of humor. "What are you thinking?" Dario asked. "That neither of us expected this, when you accepted me as payment." "No, I expected a hostage, a symbol." He came around the desk, pulled me into his lap. "I got a revolution instead." "Dramatic." "True." He nuzzled my neck. "You changed everything, Alara. Made me want things I'd sworn off. Family, peace, a future beyond survival. You gave me those things too." We gave them to each other. I turned, straddled him, framed his face with my hands. "I love you, Dario Vasari, even when you're impossible. Even when you overprotect our daughters and refuse to let them eat sugar after 6, he laughed. "They're 3. They don't need sugar." "They're 3. They need joy. Let them have cake." "Fine, but you're dealing with the sugar rush." "Deal." We kissed, slow, deep, still finding new ways to fit together after all this time. "Thank you," he whispered. "For what?" "For choosing me, that first night, and every day since." His hand splayed across my back. "For seeing past the monster to the man underneath." "You're not a monster. You never were." I kissed his forehead. "You're just someone who survived the only way you knew how, like me. We're quite a pair. The best kind of pair, matched in darkness and light." Outside, Rome glittered. Inside, our daughters slept peacefully. And here, in this moment, wrapped in each other, we were exactly where we belonged. It started with punishment. It evolved into partnership. It became love. And that love, fierce, unbreakable, forged in blood and sealed with roses, was our greatest victory. So there you have it, Ilara and Dario. From punishment to power, from enemies to lovers, from broken pieces to something whole. Their story didn't follow the rules. It broke them, rewrote them. Because sometimes the best love stories aren't the safe ones. They're the dangerous ones. The ones that burn bright enough to either destroy you or transform you. They chose transformation. What would you choose? If you love this journey through darkness and desire, hit that subscribe button. Because there are more stories waiting, more shadows to explore, more forbidden loves that defy every expectation. Drop a comment. Tell me what you thought. Did Alara make the right choices? Was Dario redeemable? Should she have pulled the trigger on Dante or shown mercy? I want to hear your thoughts. Until next time, remember, in the darkness, sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is fall in love. And sometimes it's the only thing worth doing. Subscribe Sakya. Like Hans. Comment. Darkness calls. Will you answer?